Hey, it's Tim here, coach of men who want more, and thanks for joining me for this live stream. If you're jumping on live, I appreciate it. Or if you're watching the replay, much gratitude also. But today's message is about 3 things you can do when you're down and out. And this message is direct to the men out there, my brothers, the dudes, my guys, who just like me at times feel like you're down and out. Maybe you've been through some big challenges lately. Some big relationship challenges, some big health concerns, maybe some challenges in your business or in your career and where you want to move with your life. And I wanted to give you 3 things that you can do to help you feel less like you're down and out, because I know how it can feel. It feels like the world's on your shoulders, you've got a lot of pressures and expectations, people pulling you from different directions, and sometimes you just feel like you're down and out, and I get that, and I've been there many times. And I remember back when I was a 19-year-old kid making my way through the rugby league sort of junior ranks, and I was playing at the semi-professional level at that time and was having a blast and was living out my dream. And I was in the gym working out with the boys, and the coach called me outside and he said to me, "Tim, I have to let you go." And I just stood there in shock. And that meant he was cutting me from the team. And with the season just around the corner, it absolutely gutted me. It shattered me. It was like my dream was crushed in front of me. And I stood there. And this is the first thing you can do if you feel like you're down and out, is act from your higher self. What I mean by that is, as I stood there in front of my coach and he tells me, "I'm cutting you, you're no longer needed," I said to him, "Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. And if there's ever an opportunity in the future, please let me know." That was me acting from my higher self at that point in time. And I'm so glad I did. Because then the second thing that I learned, and that I suggest you consider here, is if you're feeling down and out, is to make a decision not to give up. And I'm talking a decision that, hey, this is just an obstacle. If you're feeling down and out, whatever's happening in your life right now, it's just an obstacle, it's just a problem, a challenge, an issue, however you want to frame it up. But you need to make a decision not to give up. And that's what I did. I remember waking up the next morning in total limbo. I was living in a house that the football club had provided for me. The boys that I was living with still had a contract and was still playing, yet I had a few days to find somewhere new to live and a completely new direction in my life. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I decided not to give up. So you guys out there who may have been through a tough year or two, or maybe you're going through some real fucking challenge now, my guidance here is make that decision not to give up. Not to give up on yourself, not to give up on your family, on those that you love most. So it'll be the second thing you can do. And then from that point in time, I made a decision not to give up. And the third thing was to take inspired action, whatever that is right now for you. Take that inspired action, because what I did there was I started researching, well, how could I put myself in a position to be a part of that team or a similar team moving forward? And I linked up with another club. Now, this club wasn't quite at the level that the club that had just cut me was, but that was the next inspired step. I made the decision that, hey, I'm gonna take this as well as I can at the time and act from my higher self. I won't give up, and then I'll take inspired action. And I actually went down and trained with this other team for a couple of sessions. And here's the funny thing, this is what happened. About 3 weeks later, as I'm just starting to get my head around, okay, the path has changed. My dream is still there, but I'm gonna have to work extra hard now. I get a phone call, and that phone call comes from my coach and says, "We've had some injuries. We want you to come back." And as I think about it now, I was pumped. Like, at the time, it was like, holy shit, my dream, I've got another chance. I've got another chance to link up with this team and to take my career to the next level and go to the highest levels that I could. And I walked back in there to the gym a few weeks later, and it was one of the best feelings I've ever had, because I acted from my higher self. I never gave up, and I took the next inspired action, and I got another opportunity. And here's the funny thing, later on down the track, I was speaking to my coach I said, what made you call me to ask me to come back? And he said to me, goes, the number one thing was because how you handled it. And I'm really proud of myself for that, because I handled it. He says a few of the other boys who got cut at the time had handled it from a lower self. They'd handled it through anger. I think a couple of the boys, even mentioned, hey, I'm going to kill you, like some crazy shit like that. And stomped off and threw shit and just being complete dickheads about it. Even though it was really hard for me to take at the time, something within just said, hey, treat this like a challenge, but don't be an asshole about it. There's no point blowing up. And I just said, thank you for your time, and appreciate the opportunity that had been given to me. And that was the number one reason why I got that chance to go again and play that team. So let me do a couple of shout outs here. Hey Nat, hey Ardit, hey Maritesh, hey Jay. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Appreciate your support here. Hopefully this has been valuable to you. 3 things that you can do when you feel like you're down and out, because you may be down and out, but you don't have to stay down and out. The first thing, if you're just jumping on here and you haven't watched the whole start, the first thing is make sure that you act from your higher self. Is your higher self from a place of gratitude like mine was? Is your higher self maybe from a place of contemplation? Whatever it is, excitement, passion, whatever it may be, when you're down and out, act from your higher self as much as you can. And I know it can be hard, it can be very challenging, because everything in your body and in your mind says, hey, this is too hard, but it isn't. The second thing is to never give up. Make that decision. Make the decision now not to give up. Whatever it is, whether it's in your relationships, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your business career, whether it's in how you're feeling about yourself, hey, take another step forward, don't give up. And the final thing was take inspired action. Just one little step. One little step. If you do those 3 things when you're feeling down and out, the down and out won't last, and you'll be up sooner than you realise. I hope this has served. If it has, please like and share this video. I appreciate your support here. Much gratitude, and have an incredible day wherever you're watching from. I appreciate your support, and it's your time to step up and be the best man you can be.